All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for political analysis. Osinbajo condemns corruption and ethical violations crippling Nigeria's legal profession during NBA Yenagoa Law Week plenary session. Now, I really don't understand what Osinbajo is trying to do here. You were vice president for 8 years in an administration where legal corruption and other forms of corruption thrived. You were VP when DSS broke into the house of former Chief Justice of Nigeria Onogen at night. You said nothing then, so I don't understand why you have suddenly found your voice. Anyway, if you want to atone for the role you played in the destruction of Nigeria, lend your voice in the call for a transparent electoral process. That is what anyone in the elite class who claims to love Nigeria can do now. Support the call for electronic transfer of election results from polling unit to the IREV in real time. If Nigerians are able to elect their own leaders, we will fix this country in no time. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from Shell concerning the TINUBU administration. That update shocked Nigerians because it provides an insight into how much money is being stolen under the TINUBU administration. And next is that update from World Bank disgracing TINUBU and KATSINA state governor. Actions, they say, speak louder than words. And the action by World Bank in this story shows that the World Bank is affirming that there is presently no leadership in Nigeria. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. You see, the major reason I advise people to shun bigotry is because bigotry completely messes your brain up. Dr. Taufik Raimi, one of the men in the interview I'm going to show you, has had brilliant takes on issues in the past. But because TINUBU is his fellow Yoruba man, he was unbelievably dumb in this interview. The question was, why didn't TINUBU replace one of his known foreign products with a locally made Nigerian product to announce the Nigerian first policy, so that we will all know he means business and that he is sincere? And Dr. Raimi began dodging the question and running from pillar to post, until Charles had to interrupt him and said, no, that is not what we are talking about. We are talking about using something that Nigerians can see, to entice them to patronize made in Nigerian products. By the time Dr. Raimi returned to talking, he left the question again and began saying something else. See the video.
I want to assure Nigeria many benefits of this particular policy. It will increase our productivity, which all of us have been talking about. Local productivity will increase. Manufacturing will be consolidated. Our economy will witness increase in employment opportunity. Our young teeming population that are agile, that are doing other things because they do not have the right employment, will now be gainfully employed if Nigeria products and goods are produced in Nigeria and patronized in Nigeria. We will equally even have food sufficiency. Our industries will benefit from this. So the opportunity is also there for the educational sector to also reskill, to bring out curriculum in our academic system that will also provide skills that are required in order to produce what we use, like largely. So I believe that why the concern of most Nigeria, based on their previous experiences of previous administration presidents saying what they would not do, this particular president, he has demonstrated that he will do what he says. Imagine the issue of IMF loan, which has been paid by this government, even though it was inherited in the last administration. This is matching his word with action. Imagine other things that he promised. He said he's going to remove oil subsidy if he was elected as the president, even though there are consequences. But we have started seeing that the economy has started. The charts, you remember in November last year, here in your studio, I told you that the policies of this government it may take time, but definitely they would materialize.
Right, but very quickly, I don't mean to interrupt you there. I think the point that was being made, I mean, you're citing a lot of other instances, and it is, I mean, it's worthy of sort of being brought up. But the point that is being made is in this particular instance, do you think that President Tinubu should perhaps have made the announcement by doing something, optically interesting that can connect with the Nigerian people? For example, turning up with a new car that's made in Nigeria and saying that this is my way of promoting sort of the Nigeria first thing, and then going ahead and making the announcement. You see what I mean? That would have had a much greater impact.
Charles, you have made a very valid argument as well. But it is not until when the president uses a local vehicle at this moment that we will believe, because it is not just in this automobile that the products that we produce in Nigeria, the products we produce and consume in Nigeria are very fast. In fact, part of this policy is that contracts that will be awarded in Nigeria, Nigerians will be considered first. There will be threshold. In the cases of where we do not have the magnitude, either the resources or technical know-how, so that we can, even when we bring in foreigners to either for foreign goods or foreign contractor, the president has mandated that they must include local content.
I think you've made that point.
You heard that. The biggest problem with defending the APC government in Nigeria is that you cannot even admit for a second that the government has done wrong on any matter. That is why it is impossible to defend Tinubu and not sound stupid, because this is a man that is full of errors. When he is thinking, he is full of errors. When he speaks, he is full of errors. Even when he is walking, he is full of errors. Yet, while defending him, you cannot admit that he has done anything wrong. That's an uphill task. And Dr. Raimi here said it is not until Tinubu uses a locally made car before we know he is serious about the Nigerian first policy, that there are many other products made in Nigeria. Okay, what we are saying is that let him pick one and use, let Nigerians see. And he quickly diverted the defense to saying even when contracts are being awarded, they will consider Nigerians first. Oga, 99% of Nigerians are not contractors, they are consumers. So Tinubu has to encourage primary consumption by using locally made products to show confidence in the nation. And the most notable product to draw global attention is the innocent cars, but we know he is never going to do that because he is not committed to the Nigerian first policy. Period. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from Shell that shocked Nigerians. And next is that very shameful update from KATSINA. World Bank disgraces Tinubu and Katsina State Governor in this update. Let's start by taking that story from Shell. Look at how the papers reported it. We paid $5.34 billion in taxes, charges to the Nigerian government in 2024. Shell PLC reveals. You heard that. $5.34 billion. How much is the IMF loan they said they repaid? $3.4 billion. And Shell alone gave them $5.34 billion in taxes. And you and I know that Shell is not the only oil company in this country that pays taxes. Then we have non-oil companies that also pay taxes. And if we go into the amount remitted by customs and immigration monthly, you will be stunned. On top of that, they take loans every now and then, yet the citizens are worse than they have ever been. Just imagine the amount of money that has come into Tinubu's hands in the last 24 months with all these things that I've mentioned. Yet the citizens are worse off. Yet the soldiers on the battlefield don't have sophisticated weapons to fight insurgency. Yet they are being owed salaries and allowances. If they invest into buying the weapons, it will affect Gbajabiamila's wardrobe allowance. It will hinder Akpabio's newspaper and coffee allowance. What a disaster. This amount of money is entering Nigeria annually. And we are still the poorest country in the world. We are still the country with the highest infant mortality rate because our primary healthcare structures have collapsed. We still have one of the highest unemployment rates in the world because we can't create industries. What a shame. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from World Bank disgracing Tinubu and Katsina State Governor began making the rounds. If the saying, action speaks louder than words, is anything to go by, then the World Bank is directly saying with this move that Nigeria has no government as it stands. How can World Bank be the ones to provide a place for Nigerians to defecate? And still, there is corruption in the process. Look at how the papers reported it. World Bank to construct latrines for 1,500 KATSINA households. The World Bank, in collaboration with the Katsina state government, is to construct latrines for about 1,500 households across 3 local government areas in the state. Ibrahim Dankaba, the executive director of the state's small town water supply and sanitation agency, disclosed this in Katsina on Saturday. Mr. Dankaba said this during an advocacy visit to the chairs and the other key stakeholders of the 3 benefiting local government areas of Baure, Funtua, and Kafor. A sanitation officer, Muntari Sani Saulawa, represented by Mr. Dankaba. According to Mr. Dankaba, the visit was part of preparations for the 2025 household latrines exercise under the World Bank-supported NG Sowash project. He added that the key activities include community engagement for the formation of the water, sanitation, and hygiene committees. Mr. Dankaba mentioned other activities such as the establishment of grievance redress committees and conducting both household baseline surveys and household screenings. Furthermore, the activities aim to strengthen community involvement and lay the groundwork for sustainable sanitation improvements in line with project's goal of achieving universal access to safe water and sanitation. The project aims to construct 1,500 household latrines across the 3 selected local government areas. The benefiting communities in Baure local government area include Garki, Baba Mutum, and Yaduna, where 125 latrines will be delivered. In Funta local government area, the communities of Nasarawa and Dike will benefit from 250 latrines each, while Mahuta and Gozaka in Kafu local government area will also benefit from 250 household latrines each. He said, "What a disgrace. The largest black nation in the world, Nigeria, one of the oil-rich countries in the world, we have to depend on World Bank to come and build latrines for our people in a country that claims to have a man seated there in Aso Rock calling himself president, a country that claims to have governors. There is a governor in that Katsina state. And I am telling you that even the money released for this project, more than 60% of it will be embezzled. What they are going to give those people will be substandard. They may not even give them up to the 1,500. This is how bad this country has become. You cannot provide a place for your people to defecate. There was a report released that Nigeria is ranked first globally in open defecation. That report was released about 2 years ago. Our government did nothing about it. Now it is World Bank that is coming again to provide a place for Nigerians to defecate. Well, if you cannot feed your people, you don't expect them to defecate now. That's why they cannot provide a place for them to defecate. What a shame. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Akonji Adeyemi says, "Where are their councillors, chairmen, governor, and president? They are busy globe-trotting and struggling for a re-election they don't deserve. Unfortunate things in power. Unfortunate things, I'm telling you." And this tweet here says, "Just imagine how shameless these irresponsible politicians are. World Bank constructing ordinary latrines for giants of Africa and not Congo, Sudan, or Burkina Faso. Those bastards APC online slaves don't see these things of shame. Child." And this tweet here by Moses of Africa says, "Just look at the ridiculous way they are treating our people. What's the meaning of latrine when we are speaking of having a quality life and world-class standard of living? If World Bank is truthful, they should vote for good hospitals, clean water, and shelter." Moses, are you not ashamed of yourself? Asking the World Bank to come and do these things in your own country, where you have officials sitting at the helm of affairs at various levels. Is the World Bank president or governor in Nigeria? And this studio says, "Nigeria is one of the richest countries on earth. This insult makes me sick. Bad leadership is crime against humanity and should carry maximum Sentence, that is it. This tweet here by Virus says, APC, one of our great achievements is getting World Bank to construct thousands of latrines. They can list it as one of the achievements of APC. I trust them. They can list it. And Anonymous here says, World Bank, this is what they could come up with. Well, maybe they wanted to do something better. They may have released monies for something better, but these guys will do something really substandard, something disgraceful. This is APC. They can't do anything good. And this studio by Big D says, what an insult to our federal government. A very big insult. If not for bad leadership, we wouldn't be here. There is enough money in this country to make Nigerians live like kings and queens. But look at what corruption has reduced us into. That is why when we talk about having a good government, it's not because we are supporting any tribe or religion. Please let us see this thing from the right perspective. We are trying to get us to live like normal human beings. Right now, Nigerians are not living like normal human beings. It's when you travel to other countries that you will marvel at how people have moved forward. While Nigeria is still living in the Stone Age, this has to stop. And this is why I keep telling Nigerians that for us to fix this country, for us to put all these problems behind us, we must come together, cast aside our sentiments, and unite to kick the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una, na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.